not true. That's impossible.
We've all heard some pretty strange rumors about fast food, and most can be quickly dismissed. But what about the ones that turned out to be more than just whispers? Rumors are aplenty, but we're divulging 10 fast food rumors that ended up being true. Part 3.
Sit down, shut up, and listen.
70-plus ingredient McRib.
Hey, I hear the McRib is back.
When the rumor that the McRib contained more than 70 ingredients first started floating around, at the time, it was true. These days, though, the recipe has changed, but we'll get to that shortly. Having 70-plus ingredients doesn't mean that there are more than 70 toppings. No, that shocking number refers to the culmination of every ingredient in every part of the McRib. This number takes into account everything that goes into the making of the home-style bun and the tangy McRib sauce to each thing that's carefully placed between the bun's two halves, like those pickles and slivered onions. But you might be wondering, how on earth did this sandwich end up with so many things in its ingredient list? Well, to understand this, let's take a look at the production process. The foundation for this sandwich is the bun, which once upon a time had 34 ingredients to deliver the perfect look, taste, and texture.
Burger is the bun and the bun is the bun. It's perfect.
One of those ingredients, azodicarbonamide, was even found to be used in the making of yoga mats. This ingredient has been used in industrial bread making to bleach flour, but don't worry, it's no longer used by McDonald's or most fast food chains. Now for the meat of the sandwich, that appealing boneless rib covered in sauce. Oh, and if you heard that rumor that the McRib is made with kangaroo meat, rest easy, it's nowhere on this list. McD's McRib is made up of a smorgasbord of meat parts, and unfortunately isn't actually ribs, though it sure is delicious. These different parts and pieces up the ingredient count, and that's before the seasonings and flavors are added. Then we get to the sauce and its ingredients, and you start to see how a total of 70 ingredients are added into the McRib recipe. But Reader's Digest says that today there's no longer a list of 70 ingredients, though there are still 40 of them.
Well, that makes me feel so much better.
Sandy chili.
I'm never eating chili again.
Ooh, chili!
A nice, warm, and hearty chili can be the perfect thing to satisfy your hunger and leave you feeling warm and toasty. And for years, Wendy's has delivered a delicious stick-to-your-ribs chili that many have loved. That is, until the rumor that there's sand in it gave everyone pause. And the reality is that there is some truth to this rumor. Yes, you're hearing us right, this rumor is true. Just like McDonald's and their use of ingredients that sound like they belong in a chemistry lab, all to perfect the look, taste, and texture, Wendy's also has some strange-sounding ingredients. The ingredient that caused the stir about sand in their chili is silicon dioxide, or as it's also known, silica. And because this ingredient is found in naturally occurring things like quartz and sand, the rumors took off, looking and sounding as if they were backed by science. Because in a way, they are. So why exactly is Wendy's using this sandy substance in their beloved chili? Because it helps maintain the look and texture of that well-loved dish. Silicon dioxide acts as an anti-caking additive. Wendy's isn't the only fast food chain to use it in their meat-based products. Taco Bell is also known to use it. Who'd have thought that sand was a secret ingredient in crafting Wendy's hearty and delicious chili?
Have you tried this?
Wood pulp seasoning.
I eat wood. Dinner, 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 dinner. It tastes good.
So now that we've addressed that sandy rumor, let's take a look at another rumor that causes people to raise an eyebrow and question their food choices: the use of wood pulp in fast food. And yes, this rumor has proved to be true, though it isn't quite what you think. The wood pulp you find in fast food is often called cellulose. It's an ingredient found across the food world that's derived from wood pulp and other fibrous plants. And yes, this is considered safe and permissible to eat. This leads to the big question, which foods have wood pulp in them? Well, it seems like everyone's using it as a secret ingredient. Chains like Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's, Taco Bell, and Carl's Jr. all have items that reportedly contain it. And if it doesn't outright say cellulose on the ingredients, it could be hiding under some of the other names you'll find wood pulp listed as.
Yes, it's terrible.
Names like microcrystalline cellulose and regenerated cellulose glucose, all of which sound very science experiment-y. Why exactly are so many food brands adding this to their foods? Because it's an anti-caking additive and a stabilizer to keep other ingredients from separating. It's used in everything from shredded cheese and buns to adding filler to meats. Who'd have thought wood would become a staple in our diets?
No meat, big feet. I eat wood, boom, boom, boom.
First time here? Well, become an official BabbleTopper by taking a quick second to hit that subscribe button. Now, more true fast food rumors. Soda tastes different.
How do you even drink that?
Odds are, if you're a fan of soda, you've heard that it tastes different, and to most people, better when you get it from a fountain at a fast food joint. Well, it turns out this rumor is true and not just an old wives' tale, because the taste changes depend on how and when Coke is prepared. Coke is made by mixing a very concentrated syrup with carbonation. At restaurants, the combination of Coke syrup with soda water happens right when you pour the drink, delivering what many feel is a sweeter and bubblier version of Coke.
A new Coke.
This combining of ingredients happens at a different time for Coke sold in cans or bottles. Because you buy the drink pre-mixed, the infusion of syrup with soda water comes together during manufacturing, so the mixture has been sitting together longer than at the soda fountain, altering the taste. This is the case for more than just Coke. Anytime you grab a soda from the fountain, it follows a different infusion timeline compared to its canned and bottled counterparts. So if you're one of those people who absolutely swear that the Coke you get from the restaurant tastes different, it turns out you were onto something.
Soda?
No thanks.
McChicken with glass.
Hey, there's glass in my food!
Here we have yet another story to make you want to inspect your food before eating it, because yes, this rumor has turned out to be true. A woman did find glass in her McChicken sandwich. This incident happened in August 2010 at a McDonald's restaurant in Oak Lawn, Illinois. And unfortunately, the woman only found the glass after it injured her. How did the glass end up in her sandwich? Well, it's believed that a shattered coffee pot is to blame. The coffee pot overheated, causing the glass to shatter and end up in her sandwich. The woman did file a lawsuit against the restaurant asking for $600,000 worth of compensation. It's not the first time McDonald's has been sued by an injured customer. They've also been sued over someone getting severe burns after their drink spilled on them. Incidents like these make you approach your fast food with a little more caution.
Oh God. Sir, don't swallow. Spit that out, please.
Subway Shortchange.
Is that true?
If you've ever heard the rumor that Subway sandwiches are not as long as advertised, know that it was more than a rumor. It turns out that the sandwich chain was shortchanging customers on the length of their sandwiches. Instead of the famous foot-long being 12 inches of bread, the restaurant was only serving up 11 and a bit. The result was the sandwich franchise going to court over the shorter length. Subway fought the lawsuit by trying to say they were only using the term footlong as a descriptive term. But unfortunately for Subway, this argument wasn't good enough. They ended up settling the lawsuit and actually measuring their sandwiches to ensure they lived up to the footlong description. This also meant that Subway had to develop new systems and processes for their entire chain to ensure that everyone was getting a sandwich that was truly 1 foot long.
Size isn't everything, I guess.
Designed to make you crave. Gimme. Have you ever heard that looking at a menu board makes you more hungry? Well, it turns out this isn't just some tall tale or long-held rumor, because there's truth to the whole thing. Marketers use descriptive words and terms that get your mouth watering and your stomach rumbling. Cornell researchers have shared that a customer is 27% more likely to get an item that's been described using these sorts of mouth-watering terms. So those menu descriptors were carefully crafted to convince you to order them. A descriptive menu is just one trick of the trade to get you to crave addictive dishes. This marketing trick goes far beyond the menu descriptions. It's also in the photos, decor, and color schemes of these restaurants too. Those delicious burger photos on the menu are carefully altered, and the colors and the decor and logo stimulate your appetite. It turns out there's a lot going on to get you munching on fast food, even if it's hard to believe.
They make burgers. We eat burgers.
KFC Christmas.
Oh, this Christmas carnival has everything. Games, food,
You know that rumor that KFC is the go-to Christmas meal in Japan? Well, it turns out this rumor's true. The fried chicken chain has been offering a specialty Christmas meal in Japan since 1975, and it has seen so much success that you're encouraged to place an order 2 months in advance because it sells out so fast. KFC sales are higher on Christmas Eve than at any other time. The specialty holiday meal contains chicken, but with far more options than you'd normally get at a KFC. They offer the choice of 3 different and unique, at least for KFC, styles: roasted, smoked, or barbecued chicken. Along with your chicken, in your chosen style of preference, you'll also receive a salad and chocolate cake. How did this tradition come to be? Well, it's all credited to KFC's marketing campaign from the 70s that promoted Kentucky for Christmas. According to the lore, the idea was sparked when foreigners in Japan wanting to celebrate Christmas with a traditional turkey could not find one. They ended up having to settle for an alternative: fried chicken. The company ran with it, creating a huge Christmas phenomenon for the Japanese market, even though Christmas isn't even a national holiday there.
Merry Christmas!
30 minutes or it's free.
You're late. I'm not paying for those.
How often have you heard the rumor that if your pizza doesn't arrive within 30 minutes of ordering it, you get it for free? It's probably hard to tally that number up. The phrase is uttered so often whenever pizza or any other food is being ordered that it feels like an urban legend or myth. It turns out there's a reason for this very commonplace rumor. Pizza places used to have this promo once upon a time, or more specifically, Domino's Pizza used to offer it. The promotion started as a half hour or a $50 off, but quickly evolved as the franchise gained popularity. And in 1979, they debuted their promotion, 30 minutes or it's free. This did wonders for the growth of the company. People loved the idea and were eager to bend that guarantee in their favor. They do things like turn off their porch lights to make the address harder to find.
34 minutes. 4 minutes late. Pizza's free.
The popularity of the guarantee sent the company to the top of the pizza game. But the guarantee became dangerous and ended with a $78 million lawsuit and the cancellation of the guarantee in 1993. People were so invested in the idea of this pizza and the possibility of getting it for free that drivers became reckless on the roads to avoid losing the sale. According to sources, their driving led to the deaths of more than 20 people. It was an unexpected and devastating consequence of what started as a fun and intriguing marketing plan. And even with the disastrous effects, Domino's continued their guarantee in other countries. Even though it's been years since the company has had this guarantee policy in place, many people still hold the idea in their heads that delivery should be 30 minutes or free.
Oh, Pizza Man's here. Do I look okay?
Human flesh sandwich.
Well, now that's confirmed.
All right, we need to take a second to unpack this rumor because there's no way it could be true or that it should be included on this list. And yet, it is true and it definitely belongs here. But admittedly, things may be just a little bit sensationalized because the human flesh sandwich from Arby's was a total and complete accident and oversight by Arby's staff. It all happened at an Arby's in Michigan, where one of the workers was industriously slicing and preparing sandwich fixings for the day's orders. Only things went awry when she accidentally sliced her own hand. She left her workstation to deal with her injury, as anyone in the same position would. The only thing, she didn't let anyone in the kitchen know. So her coworkers picked up where she left off, having no idea that a chunk of human flesh was now mixed in with the sandwich toppings. By now, you can probably guess where this is going. That slice of her hand ended up in someone's sandwich. Unfortunately for the customer, they only discovered the slice of flesh after biting into the sandwich. The worst part about this whole thing, it's not the only time this has happened in an Arby's restaurant. This whole story definitely makes you want to double-check your food from now on.
Finger food?
No, thank you. I'm fine.
Take a bite out of more great videos. Just tap or click, leave us a comment, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell.